All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Butterfly Effect podcast. As you can see, I am joined here. Well, you clicked on the episode. You know who's here, and you know what we're talking about. But I have Brittney Blackout Johnson. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Don't act shy. Thank you so much for having me.
I haven't been called Blackout in a while.
Okay, can you tell people where that came from? Because I actually don't know. I mean, I'm assuming it's because you got drunk. I don't know where the name came from.
I actually think that your old... Well, did you live with Chelsea?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your old roommate, Chelsea, started calling me Blackout because I would go to the bar way younger, because I'm younger than you guys. And I was going to the bar hanging out with a bunch of older people and, like, would just get absolutely belligerently blacked out and then say and do like the most ridiculous things, and then it just became like it was like Blackout Brittney, and then it was Blackout Britt, and then it got to the point where people are like, "Are you Blackout?" and like they just like didn't know my name anymore, and I'm okay, yes, that's what I go by. That's my legal name.
No, I literally, when I would refer to you, I'd be like, Blackout. Like, is Blackout coming? Like, I would talk about you like that. I had no idea where it came from. I didn't know Chelsea created that.
I'm pretty sure it was Chelsea, but then it clicked really quick. It's funny because I will catch myself, even in Dallas, where obviously no one calls me Blackout here. I'll hear somebody say something about somebody blacking out while I'm out, and I'll be like, "What's up?"
No, that reminds me of the craziest, like, not a craziest story, but when we first moved to Chicago, we lived right next to Wrigleyville, which is the baseball stadium, and they have concerts there. And you know how people call me Luda? So the Ludacris concert was happening the same day we were moving into our place, like literally a block. Like, we could see the concert from our deck, and people were like, Luda. I was like, what? I was like, yeah, right. Like, I had no idea this concert was going on. I was like, what are the odds that happened? So I get it. And people
think that inflates our egos a little bit.
Yeah. If you haven't caught on, we both came from that crusty ass college. So it brought us together, so we'll take that.
Right.
But what I just recently learned, you actually were like best friends with my cousin. I never knew, like, Darian, right? Like, you were friends. I had no idea. So she actually came from a small town, which that could be its own episode in itself, because I have thoughts. But yeah, that was something I just learned recently. I had no idea.
Well, yeah, what's actually funny is her older sister, Danae, I got into a lot of trouble in high school. Shocking, I know. So my senior year, my dad went back to calling parents before I went anywhere, because I got caught obviously lying and drinking and smoking pot and getting in a lot of trouble legally and whatever. So Danae would actually, when I wanted to go someplace, even if it wasn't to hang out with Darian, Danae would call my dad and pretend to be Darian's mom. I'd be like, yeah, Brittney's coming over here this weekend, because she had like the best mom voice. And it was like, I'm not, even when I wasn't lying, I'm like, I am not telling this person's parent they have to call you. Like, we're 17.
But also, Danae sounds just like my aunt. So that was the perfect thing to do. That is hilarious. I had no idea about that. Yeah. Wow, Danae, I see you. I was too chicken to do any of that stuff. So I'm glad other people have good stories to tell. Because my worst story was getting caught stealing at Sears. So we'll just leave that where that was.
Back when Kim K had her brand there, like.
Oh my gosh. I wasn't even stealing good stuff. I was just like stealing fake earrings that weren't even real. Like, I didn't even go for the good stuff. I don't know. Rookie mistake. But before we get into the topic of the night, I just want to do a quick not icebreaker. I hate that. Not on these Zoom meetings. I feel like we do time, but like a quick get to know you for people who don't know you, and just to like loosen up as we're drinking. You're not allowed to lie, obviously, but you can pass if you want. These questions aren't hard. We're talking about cheating today, so I feel like you'll be fine. Okay, your zodiac sign. I think I know this. You just had a birthday. I think I know what it is, but what's your zodiac sign?
Yeah, I'm a Gemini, but like I don't know anything about zodiac signs, but like what I do know is that Geminis are crazy. So like, I mean, what I know adds up. Like,
no, I love Geminis. KK's a Gemini. I get along well, but I will say your sign gets some heat. Your sign gets some heat.
Like if I ever see like anything online and it's like, this is what this sign deserves and this is what this sign deserves, mine is always like Geminis and like the pits of hell. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it adds up.
I know exactly the tweets you're talking about. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
What is your favorite TV show to binge right now or ever?
Well, I am diehard Real Housewives fan.
Yeah. Which one?
All of them. I literally have all the Housewives quotes like printed out on my wall.
Oh, that's kind of cool. You're a real fan. But which one's your favorite? Do you have a favorite housewife or a favorite season?
Yeah, Bethany Frankel. I think she's really like that dry, sarcastic. Yeah, that dry, sarcastic humor is so funny to me. And she's like bitchy in a funny way, which I feel like, not to suck my own dick, but I'm bitchy in a funny way.
Yeah, like I embody that. She is me.
Yeah.
I loved the Potomac one or Salt Lake City. Oh my gosh.
I like Jen Shaw. Jen Shaw is my girl.
Oh my gosh. Jen Shaw, she was insane. That one was juicy. That one had so much drama on it. And then Potomac, I love that one too.
Yeah. Actually, there's the Real Housewives of Dallas, and I totally met. I was at WrestleMania.
Okay. Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
I don't care. I had a good time. It was fun. But Nolan, my old roommate, and I went to WrestleMania just because, like, why not? It's in town. The people there, like, were, like, fucking pissing Mountain Dew and, like, lots of broken doors. But I really went into, like, Johnny Knoxville and the crew of Jackass was there, which was really why I was excited. And it was really fun. It's, like, stupid and fake as hell, but like whatever. It's at the Cowboys Stadium, like cheap tickets. Yeah, but I was there. Yeah, so I was there and I saw one of the Real Housewives of Dallas, and I was like, oh my God, Nolan, that's one of the Real Housewives. And he's like, go say hi to her. And I was like, I don't want her to know that I'm at WrestleMania. Like, that's humiliating. Yeah, but like she's got little boys. Like I'm there as a full-grown adult with Nolan. Like
okay, valid. You're valid. But did you go say hi?
I like looked at her and she totally heard me say, "Oh my God, she's from the Real Housewives!" And then I was humiliated and was like, "We have to keep going. Like keep walking to our seats."
I get that because if I saw Drake out, I would be too scared to go and talk to him. Like I wouldn't want to ask for. I would be so embarrassed to ask for a picture because I wouldn't want to be one of those fans, you know. But like I'd want the picture, so I get it.
Right, but also it's like this is, and don't get me wrong, like I love them, I'm obsessed with them. But this is not like some crazy famous person. Like this is a person on a reality show and on like one of the lower branches of the reality show, like the Real Housewives of Dallas. Like
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's like only on, I think it's only on Peacock. Like I'm just that obsessed. And I live here, so I like to see where they eat so I can pretend that I could eat there.
I wonder I feel like Chicago needs one. These bougie ass people here. Oh my God, Chicago needs one. I'm surprised they don't have one. We have other reality shows, but anyways, that actually leads me to my next question. If you could be on one reality TV show, what would it be and why? And you can't say Real Housewives.
No, it would be, so I met somebody who directs and like not the main director, but does filming and camera work for a bunch of shows in Dallas. I met him actually, and he was filming Love is Blind, and he does 90 Day Fiance and all of those shows. And he was like, oh my God, I totally like know some people who film for the Real World. Like you would be perfect for that. Yeah. This is my first time meeting him, like blacked out at the bar. But yes, that is the show that I think that I would.
Blacked out? Did you hear that, y'all? Blacked out at the bar. That's where her nickname comes from.
And it was also a Sunday at noon.
You would be perfect on that show. You would be perfect on any reality show, but I could definitely see Real World. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like I could see you on Love is Blind, but I feel like you won't get like that. You need something where you get more camera time. I feel like they split it up between two.
They're too sweet. Like I'm not a sweet person. Like I would be like if you watch The Bachelor, like I'd be Corinne, like from next season, like
happily.
Yeah, like the girl that everybody hates every year, I always think is so funny, and like
that's
I'm like
me.
I would hang out with her. She's funny, like she's a bitch.
No, you need to get on a show. I will be rooting for you. If I had to be on one, I would be Big Brother. I would definitely be on Big Brother. I love Big Brother.
You would be the one that everybody would love too.
But I don't know if I'd win though, because I'd be too afraid to make big moves. Like, so I think I'd have a strong social game, and I think I would win some competitions because like I'm pretty like physical. I mean, I played some sports, whatever. But I like strategic. I could be strategic, but I'd be scared to do it to hurt people's feelings.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna get on someday. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Top 3 states to live in order.
Can I give my bottom one first? Because I have a little bit of like anger towards Mitch North.
I knew
like you live in St. Cloud Jr. Sorry, I meant Scottsdale. Anyways, I would say that I did wake up after drinking with the state of Texas tattooed on my leg after a couple months of living here. So Texas is
that's
great.
commitment. That's real commitment.
Yeah, or like really a long day at brunch. But yeah.
Were you happy with that tattoo?
I like it now, but it's just like I should probably like now I feel like I have to get Minnesota tattooed on my leg. Like I'm gonna be a
states on you.
Like I'm gonna be a map now. Like that's my leg sleeve is just gonna be the 50 states. Like
that. If it was done cool, I could see it, but don't do that.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, so bottom's Arizona.
Yeah, so I do really like living in Texas. I've only lived in Minnesota and in Texas. But I did always think that I would graduate from college, which already we're off track there. And then I thought that I would move to the East Coast. I always wanted to live in like the city in New York, and then I wanted to retire in Maine. Like that was my plan. I wanted to live on like a boat in Maine when I'm old.
Do you still want to do that? Like, is that still your?
Yeah. We'll see where
life takes you.
Life takes me. Yeah. I also am no longer. I have a problem where I overplan things and then get really disappointed when they don't happen the way that I've like planned my life out. And I learned pretty quickly that things were never going to start going my way. So really this year, not never going my way, I shouldn't say that, but not as planned. So really like this last year, I've just realized that I don't need a 5-year plan. I need a right now plan and maybe a year plan. So
that's real, because I've recently been thinking about that too. Like I'm the same way. I plan everything out. I try to understand like how things are going to go so I can feel prepared for it. And then I'm the same way. I get disappointed when it doesn't go the way that I want it to. And I've been realizing like the journey is way more important than like the end goal, and like just to live in the moment and enjoy where I'm at. Because one day I'm going to look back at this time where I'm living life and I'm going to wish I would have been in the moment more. And so I've been trying to change my mindset around that, but it's hard. It's really hard. I relate to that for sure.
Well, and moving down here took so much time and planning. So like the thought of trying, because I don't necessarily think I want to live in Texas forever, but I love Dallas. But the amount of planning and time it took to really like actually move, I don't have that energy anymore.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Just moving in the same city is a lot. I hate moving. Moving your whole entire life to a new state, like that's kind of what held me back, because we've talked many times. I'm like, I'm coming to Texas. I'm moving to Texas, and I still really want to move there. It just didn't feel like the right time. So we'll see what happens. I do hope I end up in Texas at least at some point in my life to experience it, because I want to know what it's like to live in warm weather. But anyways, back to you. What is the top 3? So Arizona, you're at the bottom of the list. Haha, Northie. Okay.
Yeah, so I would never live in Minnesota again. I like Texas. I would live in New York. I have family. Yeah, I feel like Texas is 3 because I've already lived here.
Got it.
So like I said, I would live in New York. I'd say that's number 2. And then I think number 1 would be Maine, because that's where I kind of want to like not end my life. That sounds bad, but like be old in Maine. So yeah, I think so, but I've never lived those places, so that could totally change if and when I live there.
Well, now we have this on record, so it'll be interesting to see if that's where you end up, but that's exciting. I would have never thought for myself to live on the East Coast. It's like seems too fast paced for me, but I can see it for you. Like at least New York. Maine seems slower, but fingers crossed for you. Okay, last question. Social media app you cannot live without and one you would delete forever.
Well, obviously Twitter is my number one. Like, I don't tweet as much anymore. I used to be a little unhinged. That's also, I would say, where the Blackout name came from. Because then after people kept calling me it, I changed it to my Twitter handle, which it no longer is because I'm a little too old for that. And like I have a job, like a professional job that I still don't tweet professional things, but like it was number one step. But I just think it's funny, and I think that I'm really funny. So like I don't know, I have a super shitty sense of humor that I find really funny, and as long as I'm laughing, that's all that matters. And that's kind of like the vibe of Twitter for me.
I agree. Twitter is like authentic. People are putting their real thoughts, being authentic. Like you can tell the person who saw it on Facebook and like wanted to go viral. Yeah. But for the most part, people are just literally unfiltered, unhinged, like tweeting whatever they want. And you definitely do. And I was actually one of the games instead of this, I was gonna have screenshots of your tweets. And I was gonna go through them, but I forgot to do that ahead of time, so you lucked out.
Next time.
Next time for sure. Okay, one that you could live without.
I'm not a huge Instagram person. I'm not like photogenic because I like when people want to take pictures, I'm like, okay, here's my smile, and now like let's get to the shots and like the fun, like where's the food at? Like
I hate Instagram because there's a pressure you have to be perfect. Like that's the difference between Twitter and Instagram. Twitter, you're funny, like you're laughing, you're being yourself. Instagram, you're putting this perfect person out there and like trying to get approval for how you look. I hate that. Like I really don't post very much on there either. But like now that I'm trying to grow this shit, I kind of have to. So it's like it's annoying, but we're figuring it out. I'm just trying to be more authentic on Instagram and not give a fuck what people think. Like I'm going to post a photo dump and show you what I'm really doing in my life instead of taking 100 pictures and hoping for one. So I'm just trying to kind of change how I use it and hope it changes my relationship with it since I have to kind of use it. But
like maybe if I get like a photographer boyfriend who wants to like run an Instagram for me, that's great. But when I look ready for an Instagram picture, I've probably had like 6 shots already. And like, there's not Instagram quality pictures coming out of my shaky ass iPhone.
That's probably the realest thing I've ever heard.
So like, honestly, I'm like, I did look good last night, but I can't tell from these pictures of me laying on the floor in the bathroom. Like,
that's why you just gotta get a quick boomerang story. Like, I like the story too, because if it's really not that good, it's gone in 24 hours. We're good. And you saw what I was wearing, so we're fine. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
It's time to get into the meat of the episode, and it's on cheating.
Oh my God, you're resident expert.
Okay, so me and Brittney have been planning this episode for like at least a year because you had some shit go down, and like we talked about already, like you tweet. And it's very entertaining. Like, I'm sorry, I would subscribe if your tweets were like I had to pay $5 a month. I would, because you like you're just true and you speak your truth and it's authentic to you and people know that. That's why it's like whatever you say, people are just like, that's Brittney. Like, who cares? And it's true and entertaining. So yeah, I remember hearing this and seeing this go down. And I was like, oh fuck yeah, we're talking about this.
Some may call it entertaining, some may call it immature. I would agree with both. So.
Well, we're gonna go on the side of entertaining today for today's purposes. But okay, let's start off with what is your definition of cheating? Because that can vary depending on the person, and that's totally fine. Nobody's right or wrong, but like, what's your definition of cheating?
I guess like obviously sleeping with somebody, making out with somebody is obviously cheating.
Anything physical, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like a layer though too where it's like I don't want to have to feel like I have to look through your phone or anything like that. Like that's not who I am as a person, But if I was to look through your phone and there's stuff that I shouldn't be seeing on your phone, that to me is cheating.
Absolutely. So like emotional, mental, like cheating has many layers. And I guess before we get too deep into this, like again, just preface this because people really like to argue. Like this is our opinions and this is our experience and our thoughts. Everyone's idea around cheating, everyone's thoughts around relationships, it's gonna differ and that's totally okay. We just talking about our truth here. But yeah, I agree.
I'm always right. No, I'm just kidding.
It's also not. Like we're 100% right and we're speaking facts, but like if your truth is different, shut up. I agree though. Anything physical, obviously cheating. Emotional. If you are having an emotional relationship with somebody else, sometimes that hurts deeper.
Right.
Like if you're like I'm also the same. I don't like looking through phones. I will never do it again. And I've done it in past relationships. I'm not gonna say I didn't. I definitely have. And I found exactly what I was looking for every time. And the reason I was looking was the reason I should have left in the first place. But we'll definitely get into that. But yeah, I think anything emotional, if you're having a like texting somebody and having like, you should not be texting somebody every day. Like friends, obviously, but I don't even text my friends every day. Like I text KK every other day. Like, I don't know. You don't need to be texting anybody every day.
Or you don't need to be texting anything that like your girlfriend can't see. Unless I will say, what has gotten me into trouble with my text when somebody goes through my phone, because I am not perfect, even though I like to think that I am.
We like that. We like honesty.
I bitch when I'm dating a guy. And like if he does something that irritates me, I bitch to all my girls about it. So like I have had, I'm specifically thinking of a time that I was dating someone back in St. Cloud, and I woke up and I went to grab my phone and my phone wasn't there and he wasn't next to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what could be?
Oh, my stomach just dropped. Oh my
God. My stomach dropped, not because I was cheating. I have never cheated. I did not cheat on him. But I knew that I, A, talked shit about him to my friends, and B, I was dating somebody who was super insecure and jealous, and like, I know that I have text messages in my phone about people I have hooked up with or whatever prior to him, which is exactly what he found, which is exactly what made him mad. I went into my bathroom. He's sitting on my toilet with the lid down, my phone in his hand, and I was just like, oh my God, this is the worst possible scenario ever. So that's where I think, like, I don't want to go through your phone. I'm guilty of going through phones too. Arthur Howard, I'm sorry.
What, did you find something?
No, but I made something up in my head. Like, I was like, well, this is annoying.
Yeah, this is enough what I found, okay?
Yeah, no.
Job, you're off the hook this time.
He's off the hook this time. This time. But yeah, so that's where I think, like, you have the right to privacy on your phone. Like, everybody vents, and when I bitch about the guy I'm dating to my friend Jenny or my friend Amber, like, it's not me really like talking mad shit about this person. It's me venting to not freak out at them because I'm a hothead, which I'm well aware of. And it's me, like, it's either I go to Twitter or I go to the girls. Like,
which would you prefer?
You probably prefer the girls. But no, so that's where I think going through somebody's cell phone is wrong, because I do think that as much as it would piss me off, a guy does have rights to go to his friends and bitch about me too.
100%. No, I agree. And I really, like, going back, I had two things when you were explaining this. One, I thought you were going to go the direction of I was complaining about my boyfriend to another guy. Because that would, if you take, not your scenario, but in general, if you do that to enough, I would think that's emotional cheating. Like, why are you going to this person so much and telling my business? Like, maybe not emotional cheating, but I don't know. That's a boundary cross. Like, if it was a girl, I'm like, you don't need to be telling another girl what's going on and getting I don't know, because I guess advice, but like, I don't know. Like, don't why are you getting this emotional support from her? Go to your guys. Like, I just feel like I would feel uncomfortable about that because I'm not going to go to a guy about my guy problems unless it's like my dad or my brother. Like,
Right.
I don't really have guy friends like that, though, so maybe that's...
I see, and I do have guy friends like that, and that's actually something that I never thought about until my last relationship, because I would go to my friend Radu and be like, this motherfucker, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And like Radu and he's like my therapist. Like, I bitch to him about everything, whatever. But on the flip side, like, this guy that I'm dating doesn't really know him like that, or know that doesn't seem appropriate. And I was always like, you're a psycho. Like, don't tell me what I can and can't do or who I can and can't talk to. But then flip it.
Which is true.
Which is, but I went fucking crazy when he bitched about me to a girl that I kind of knew and didn't know well. And I was like, nope, don't like that. So
I don't, it like sits wrong with me. And I do think that they should be able to talk about our relationship to somebody, but like pick wisely, because I don't know, that can get very messy very quickly. And I do think some people's intentions are not always right. And like they could be, oh yeah, let me be the safe place for you. And then, you know, I don't know, that makes me uncomfortable. But I do think, yeah, talk to your boys about me, because I'm talking to my girls about you for sure. I don't want to ever see what he says about me. That would definitely stay in my mind, the way I overthink things. Like, I wouldn't want to find that. Okay, so we're on the same page about that. And that actually, I'll just ask this next question. You haven't ever cheated. I've never either. But was there a reason why you haven't? Like, explain why, like, because lots of people have cheated. Like, let's just be real. Nobody's perfect. But...
Right. I've definitely like hooked up with somebody right after breaking up with someone, like sooner than I probably should have. Like, I've been cheated on so many times. So it's a shitty feeling, and it makes you feel like shit. And then I feel like also, to be completely honest, I like to win a breakup.
Yep.
If I'm the cheater, I don't win.
Right. You have that guilt on you. I totally get it.
Yeah. And then people are like, she's a piece of shit, which, like, yes, I am a piece of shit probably for other reasons, but like, I don't.
And not for cheating.
Not for cheating. You're the bigger piece of shit. Like, I win. I've never cheated just because of that. Like I said, I've hooked up with guys like hours after breaking up with somebody, or been like emotional with a guy that I end up hooking up with like immediately after breaking up with somebody. But no, I've never cheated. And I'm pretty honest about, like, I'm a piece of shit about a lot of things sometimes, or can be. And that's like my one thing where I'm like, yeah, that's like something that breaks somebody beyond repair, and changes somebody a lot. And that's just something that you can't ever take that back. Like, and if you're labeled a cheater, you like, once a cheater, always a cheater, which I don't necessarily think is true, but also people are always going to remember that about you. And that's not how I want to be remembered. And I've talked so much shit about all the good dudes who have cheated on me. How would I look like a fucking clown if I cheated on someone else?
I know that I'm the same. I've also been cheated on, and that I can emphasize that it's such a terrible thing to do to somebody. Like, in my opinion, like, that is the worst thing you can do to somebody that you're dating and you're in love with, is to betray their trust in that way. That's for me. Some people, like, cheating is like, it's forgivable to some people. For me, it is not, because it sticks with you and it changes the way you trust other people. And even to this day, in relationships that I'm in now, I still like have like repercussions from way back when, like years. I'm talking like 5 years, 6 years ago, things that have happened still are playing a role in how I communicate, how I work, and how I express myself, because I feel like I'm going to always get, like, I have to keep one eye open. And that's shitty, because that's not how I was before. I was not like that in relationship. Yeah, I was young and I was like, had rose colored glasses, but I loved differently before I was cheated on, for sure. And I definitely want to get back there, and I think you can, but it's hard. You can never forget that.
Right. Well, and I've been somebody who's stayed with guys who have cheated. And not only do I sit and resent them and never trust anything they do and try and micromanage what they can do, which I don't like doing that. Like, I I don't want to be asked if you can go do something. I want to be told, like, hey, I'm going to hang out with the guys, and I want to feel comfortable with that. Like, I don't want to be like, really? Who are you really going with? Which I've been guilty of doing. And I also think that when a guy cheats on you, you find out, or even if you don't find out, that guy is also, like, projecting that onto you, at least in a lot of mine and my friends' experiences. He's cheating, so he thinks you would be doing that because that's what he would be doing. So when you say you're going to have, drinks with the girls or you're going to do this with the girls, he's going to assume that you're cheating because that's exactly what the hell he would be doing. So
that's literally my experience. That was my experience. And it was such a freaking mind game. Like, because I was always like, what am I doing that is making it seem like I'm cheating? I'm literally just trying to live my life, have fun. And I know that that's one thing I did learn, though. I am very flirty, and I didn't realize it. That's just my personality. I like to have like banter with people, and it comes off as flirting. My intentions are just having fun, but I do see how other people can read that differently. And so if anything, that's the closest I've ever been to cheating, is like crossing that boundary probably for some people, but I would have never. I know my limits. Like, I know what I wouldn't want somebody else to do to me, and I just felt like I always portrayed myself as a trustworthy person. So I could never understand why I was constantly being questioned. And I was like, and then I constantly got reminded, oh, that's because you're cheating on me.
Right.
Like, that's why you're so crazy about this, because you're doing it. And like, that took a long time to get past, because I had to question myself and my worth and like my actions when that should have never been in question from the beginning. So.
Well, and I think like that can go so many ways too, because I think any insecurity that you or your partner has, I think that can get projected onto the other person. Like, I'm guilty of that too. And then it just makes you start resenting each other, and it's like obviously not good. Not that anybody should take relationship advice from me, obviously.
Yes, they can, because we learn through lessons like that. So yes, they can.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. I just think, personally, I don't think that when you're with somebody who's cheated on you, I don't think it's ever going to be the same. So
I agree.
I don't think there's coming back from it.
Because we've both went back to somebody who's cheated on us. Would you ever do it again? Is there ever a scenario that you would go back to them or like stay with them and work through it?
I would say no, but when I'm dating somebody, I have my dumb bitch goggles on, so probably. But like, I want to say no, as like I feel liberated and single and really good right now. I'm gonna say no, but also I'm like low-key a sucker, so I could totally see myself doing it again.
I know, I'm a hopeless romantic, and I'm the same way. I would, like, as I stand today at 26, no, I would not take somebody back, especially in the early dating stages. Like, if we don't got years into this, we don't have kids, like, I'm not taking you back, because you will never respect me to the level that I expect you to respect me. And I'm going to respect you too, because I'm not out here cheating. I will never cheat on somebody. But I will never be able to get that out of my head. And like, the way I love so deeply, and like, I will do anything for the person. Like, I'll go to the ends of the earth. I can't love you the same if I don't think you're rocking with me the same way, and I know you've cheated on me. Like, you just disrespected me, and you had all this, because I know what I bring to the table. And if that wasn't good enough for you, don't see that, there is nothing else I can do for you. I would rather invest my time in somebody else, or be single, because being single is not bad either. Like, I enjoy my singleness. I'd rather be single than be with someone that cheated on me. Like, and I hope I stand on that if I ever like run into that again, like we were saying, because I'm hopeless romantic. But I really just can't. I would never be able to look at you the same, ever.
Yeah, and you never do, and then it makes you a bitter bitch. Like, at least like for me, it makes me bitchy. Like, I don't want to be a bitch to you all the time.
Right. Like, nobody's happy. We're just in here because why?
Yeah. Because I don't want to delete the good Instagram pictures I got.
That's the worst part. Like, that's why I'm glad in like relationships that I've had after college, I've not posted them, because deleting them after, oh my gosh, like, that's the second breakup. Like, you don't need to be doing that.
I have a catalog in my Instagram archives.
Wait, you can do that?
Yes, I still have pictures from like my high school boyfriend in my Instagram archives. Actually,
I didn't even know you can have. Okay, we need to talk about that, because I don't even know how to get to that.
So you can see my archives are pathetic, because it's like this guy, like Taylor Swift style, like filtering through men.
See, that's a really good podcast material right there. See, you do an episode on each relationship.
Literally.
And have a match.
But I had an ex in St. Cloud who I had to, as unhealthy as this is, I had to teach him how to archive pictures because I was like, you've gotten mad at me and deleted and reposted this picture like 5 times. Like, people are starting to notice.
You're like, babe, instead of this, like, I know you're going to try to delete it. Just hide it for a little bit.
I go, it'll make me just as mad. It'll make me just as mad, but then you won't look dumb afterwards. Like,
and you know we're getting back together because we're in this forever. So that's funny. I was thinking earlier, when you said that you've never cheated, but there's a time that you slept with someone like hours after you broke up with someone. I saw a podcast. I hate that guys just go on and say anything, but whatever. There's this podcast on guys and they were like, yeah, girls say they don't cheat, but they know exactly who they're going for after that relationship's over. And I was like, girls do that.
Yeah,
like, they
but guys know exactly who they're going for during that relationship. So shut the fuck up. And you know what makes you feel better? You know what makes you feel better to get over somebody is to get under somebody else. And I don't care. I have no shame. That is exactly what makes you feel better. Be safe. Get tested, but do your fucking thing.
What she said. It does make you feel better. I will say I have brought baggage though. Like, and was it the healthiest of relationships that I were? Maybe not. But it does make you feel better in the moment.
I mean, my whole last relationship was a rebound. So yes, I think you can bring baggage, really bad baggage.
Thank God that rebound has ended because.
I mean, I still get the emails, but.
Oh, we will get to that. Yeah, you heard it. Emails. he is on that level, y'all. Okay, why do you think people cheat? Let's break it down because I think the reasons that men cheat and women cheat are different. I think they can be the same. I think but I think for the most part, we cheat for different reasons. So why do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it can depend. I think that people can cheat because which I'm not saying it's like okay, but I do think there are reasons. And one, it could be like if you're not having like a good sexual relationship, that can be a reason. That's not a hall pass or like that's not like an excuse, but it is a reason. Like I think that's one reason. I think a lot, especially at our age, I think a lot of guys are realizing, and myself included, honestly, realizing that like we're not in college anymore and we're real adults and it's scary as hell. And like, I want to go back to where I could really just be, blacked out and crazy at the bar, like every day of the week and not have to think about like my corporate job and whatever. And like, I think that's a way to kind of like almost give you like that nostalgic feeling of being young and being crazy. And then you can, and you're texting your boys or your girls like, yeah, I hooked up with this like bad chick last night. Like, I think that's a big reason too. And then I think there's just like men that are always going to be like that.
Just dogs. Because it's an ego thing, in my opinion. Like for guys, they have to know that they can still get it. They have to prove to themselves, oh, I still got it. I can pull. And then a lot of times they regret it after and they do it and they're like, it wasn't even worth it. And like, well, what were you thinking 24 hours ago? Like, it just like, I don't understand why they constantly need their ego stroked. It's a masculinity thing, I think, for sure. But it's annoying because it's at the expense of someone that you say you love and that you would still choose over that person that you cheated with. So it's just like that one I can't wrap my mind around. I don't understand.
I think like admitting it can be different between men and women too. Like I think when a guy is like, yeah, I hooked up with this chick, she was bad, that's like for their ego. When a girl does it and is like, yeah, I hooked up with this hot ass dude last night, like fuck you, I think it's to be evil. Like I think that guys need their egos inflated and women are evil. Like I'm guilty of it. Like I see it from both sides.
Yeah, we can be manipulative because we know what will sting, especially with guys. Like guys, they're not as I've heard many guys say it. Women are smarter than men. We are. We think strategically, we can really hurt a man. Like, that's the thing. Because once we get to the point to cheat, most women, it's because you've done us so dirty. Like, there's no other option. And we are going to get you back. And this is going to get you back because I know this will hurt you. And you'll feel this for a while.
Well, and I feel like girls are like, not only am I going to cheat on you, I'm going to like cheat on you with your brother and your dad. Like,
I won't expose people, but yes. Like, literally, I have friends that say, oh, if I ever cheat, I'm going to this person. Like, they have it planned out. And that's pretty evil. You're right. That's pretty bad. But they don't do it. They just know I have that in my pocket in case I have to, because women have control and men don't.
It's true.
Do you think men cheat for emotional reasons? I'm sure some, obviously, but I feel like, do you think so?
I mean, I've been cheated on a lot, and I don't think it's been for emotional reasons at all, but I think it definitely can be. I feel like that's more, though, like when you're married.
Yeah.
And you're not getting that emotional fulfillment. Because I do feel like at a younger age, especially before you have kids and before you're totally settled down, like, you're giving more attention to your partner, like to your man, and like the older you get and the more things come up, like having kids, dealing with that type of stuff, working, the house, the dogs, whatever, you obviously have less time to pay attention to that guy. And it's not an excuse for them to go cheat, but it is a reason. Like, I don't think there are excuses, but I think there are reasons.
I was thinking, like, when I was going back to talking about if I would take somebody back, like, if I'm in a marriage for 20 years, I know some shit is going to happen. Like, I don't want it to be in my mind, in my perfect dream. Obviously, that wouldn't happen. But, like, you can't help people change. People grow. Things change. Shit happens. You grow apart if you're not putting in the work, because relationships are work. If someone cheats on me in my marriage, I might consider, like, trying to work it through. Because if you're 20 years in, like, what am I doing? Because maybe I'm not paying more attention, and I'm not being the person that you fell in love with, because people do change. I hope that never happens. But I do think that, like, yeah, when you're 20 years in and you're not getting what you got in the beginning and what got you that person, it'd be easier to look for it outside of the relationship.
See, I get what you're saying, but I am so opposite on that. To me, a dude that I just start seeing, if he is cheating on me, or even I'm just dating him and he's cheating on me, I can forgive that. When we are married and we have children, like, if you cheat on me, like, you are not only cheating on me, you're cheating on that child, you are cheating on this mortgage we have together, these cars we own together, these pets we have together. So I think, to me, it would be a lot easier for me to leave a cheating husband than a cheating boyfriend. But also, that is coming from somebody who has never successfully immediately left a cheating boyfriend. So take it with a grain of salt.
I get your point there, because you're right. You're not cheating on just me. Like, that, we have a stake in this. We have a family. We have a life that you promised me that we were going to have together, and now you're going back on. I get it. No, it'd be a bigger betrayal at that point, I think.
And we've known each other for 20 years, you know how to talk to me. Regardless of if we're doing it, like, if we're talking regularly or communicating regularly, that doesn't matter. You know how to do it. Because if I'm married to you, at some point you knew how to communicate with me. My communication has evolved a little bit, but hasn't completely changed.
You got me now. Shit. Well, just let's hope, like, we never are in this situation. Like, I'm never gonna get cheated on ever again. I know it. Neither are you. Back to what you said earlier. You said you believe that once a cheater, always a cheater. Do you think it's only in the relationship that they cheated on, like they won't have respect for that person again, so they'll cheat again? Or if they've cheated in the past in a previous relationship, they're going to do it again in future ones?
I think it's in the relationship you're in, and I don't even actually necessarily think that person is for sure going to cheat on you again, but you can never change the fact that you cheated, you're a cheater. Like, you cheated on me a year in, and we could be good for 10 years, but, like, you're a cheater, you cheated on me. So that's where I think, like, you can't rebuild that. And as much as I would have loved to many times, I have only been proven that that's true. And maybe, like, I know there are relationships for other people where, you know, they've been cheated on and they can go on to live a happy life. Personally, that's not me.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what you said. I think if you've cheated before in previous relationships does not mean you'll cheat again. Hopefully you've learned from that and you will never do that to anybody else ever again. Because I genuinely believe, like, sometimes cheating does just happen. I guess I should have said this earlier, because, like, there's times you're drunk at a bar. I think you still know it's wrong, but I can see there's situations that, like, you're not planning it. You're not, like, planning this out and trying to pursue a person, and you just go away with the moment and you lose like maybe importance of the relationship that you're in. It's not as important to you in that moment, so you cheat. And I think people make mistakes, and I don't think that you should be shamed for that the rest of your life, but there are consequences to doing that, obviously, and, like, whatever, we've talked about that. But with being a cheater in the same relationship, I've been, like we've talked about, I've stayed in a relationship where I've been cheated on multiple times within that relationship. So I agree with once a cheater, always a cheater, maybe in that relationship, because I just think that person does lose respect for you. And, like, even if they say it or admit it or not, they know that they've cheated on you, they've betrayed you, and then you stayed with them.
Right. And it's even if they don't lose, I think you can gain back respect. I don't think you can fully ever gain back trust. I think you can definitely gain more trust back, but you can never fully trust a person ever after something like that. And honestly, it's hard to even trust the next person. Like, even if that next person didn't do anything. And I am, like I said, very self-aware that I am not an angel. I have definitely been too flirty with people at the bar and anything like that, but I would never actually cheat. But also, like, I have to respect the fact that I could be with a guy who considers that cheating. So, like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have to think about that as well. Luckily, any guy that I've ever dated who's considered that cheating has literally stuck his disgusting penis in someone else. But
so he lost.
So again, I win the breakup.
Oh, love that. I don't actually know for certain anybody's ever physically cheated on me. I know for sure it's been emotional. I know for sure I've seen things. I don't know if it's ever been physical, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like, right. I would assume that's where it went. If a guy tells you that he's cheated on you before you find it, is that at any way playing in his favor of you forgiving him and, like, trying to make it work?
I have no idea, because I'm Sherlock Holmes. It's never happened to me, and I've been cheated on a baker's dozen. So
I hate that. Like, we're laughing. That's not fucking funny, though.
Yeah, like, but what are we gonna do? Cry? Like, you gotta laugh or cry. So, like, you gotta have. You gotta laugh.
Especially in today's. Yeah, I know, but fuck that. You found it every time. Yeah, that was the same for me. No, girls have every time. Not every time. Sorry. Majority of the time, the girl has come to me, and that, I'll tell you, I've never been rude to the girl ever. That's one thing for me I will never do, because she has no play in my relationship. She may know that I'm dating this person. She may be full aware of that, but at the end, I'm not wasting my energy and any of my anger on her, because she means nothing to me. She's not in my relationship. I will always put the blame on the guy, but getting, like, coming to you as a woman, oh my God, those are the worst, because, like, what do you do in that? Like, I feel so embarrassed. Like, right. That's how I feel when anytime that happened. I just felt so embarrassed, in that, like, people knew and had a one-up on me. That shit I fucking hate. I don't want any girl to ever think she has a one-up on me in my relationship. And that, like, that's why I could never forgive the guy too, because you let some other girl think that about me.
You're a better person than me, though, because, like, also, unless the girl comes to me, that's different, and the girl doesn't know. The girl knows I'm in a relationship. I am street fighting you. Like, we are bare knuckle boxing. Like, fuck him, too, but, like, I'm breaking your fucking nose. Like, fuck you.
Okay! Don't ever try it! Like, see, you're never getting on again. No girl will try it.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to lie, because I have a feeling that there is a very specific girl who likely will tune into this, and, like, she knows that I got physical with her. I hate him, too. Like, whatever. But, like, fuck you. You were my friend.
And it was a friend?
You know, this is, like, freshman year. You know about this.
Would I know her?
Yes.
I do?
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about it. Well, fuck you, whoever you are. If you listen in, fuck you. But also subscribe.
But they went on to date and have a very unhealthy relationship the same way I had with him. So honestly, thank you for letting me out of it early. Sorry about your face. Like, that is what it is. No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
I'll do it again.
Okay. I'm doing it. But okay, so say in this hypothetical world, or one of your exes who you like the most, if he would have came to you and told you, I fucked up and it was one time, I fucked up this one time, are you working? I mean, you've stayed with them previously, but do you think you'd be more inclined to trust him more, whereas you found it, and or still no, it's the same?
No, because the most healthy relationship I've ever had, everybody who knows me knows this, is Arthur Howard. He is still a longtime friend. Love him, even though we're fighting right now, but we're still friends, like whatever.
By the time this launches, you guys are good.
But no, if he cheated on me, I'd stab him. So, like, I don't care. If he came to me and told me, then I would just have the knife a little bit faster than if I had to find it out myself. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, no, I'm going to hurt you.
No, this is good. This is good. Just put this on your dating profile. Like, this.
Like, yeah, I've stabbed a man, so.
So don't try it. You're never getting cheated on again. I mark my words. Okay.
They just keep doing it.
They know though. This is warning, so I don't know why. Don't try it. I don't know how I would. If I want to say, if it was today, right now, I would be like, you're done, because you knew, like, I don't accept that anymore. Like, I'd want to come to it like that. Like, I don't accept that. That's not acceptable to me. You knew who I am and what I bring to the table. You chose not to. Goodbye. Like, thank you for telling me. I respect that. I do respect that, but I don't respect you anymore. So,
right.
I hope that's the type of bad bitch I would bring to the table, but you never know.
That's the thing, is like, if I could just tell you how, like, I want to be and how I could think I am, I could lie to you all day. But, like, no, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I'm fighting in the parking lot. I'm stabbing you. Like, I'm going to jail for double homicide. Like,
this is just all hypothetical in case the feds are listening. We're just kidding. This is acting.
But don't cheat on me. But, like, for real.
Okay, well, Brittney's stabbing. Brittney's on site.
but then I'll stab you and probably take you back because I'm a dog.
And then I kiss you as I put this Band-Aid on.
Dead ass. That's me.
And that's that Gemini. That's that Gemini.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna tell my therapist. I'm just like, well, I'm a Gemini.
I'm a Gemini. It's literally in the stars. That's the way I am. And they're gonna be like, okay, anyways, bitch, you need to set boundaries and you need to work on accountability.
Like, didn't I tell you not to drink before we met?
You're like, what? No, that was my twin you were talking to, my Gemini twin. Okay, let's see. Oh, this one, just last one. Do you think any type of cheating is more forgivable than the other? Like texting. Say it was never physical, but it's only texting. Do you think, obviously your trust is still broken, you can never fully repair that, but is that more forgivable than, say, going on a date, obviously, or fucking?
For me personally, yes, but I wouldn't want to speak as a whole for other people. For me personally, if you put your penis in someone else, I am like, that I'm never going to get over that.
Yeah.
You text another girl, I'm going to be mad and I'm going to, like, use it against you for a while, but I can maybe get over that. I'll never get over you actually sleeping with someone else.
I to my knowledge, don't know if I've ever been cheated on that way, but in my mind, like, I want to say almost the texting hurts me more. I don't know what. I feel like emotional cheating for me may be more.
For me, I think it's like, I'm like literally here ready to have sex with you 6 times a day. So if that is not enough and you're sleeping with someone else, that is like major slap in the face to me, which is like probably fucked up and probably something I should bring up to my doctor next week. But like, honestly, so I get when people say like the texting is more, like emotional cheating is more. And either one I think is bad, of course. But I guess I can understand how it can happen more, because to me, you cannot be getting fulfilled emotionally or not feel comfortable to share how you're feeling to your certain person and you share with somebody else, and that can like build into something you didn't mean for it to build into. Like that started out as you venting to somebody who maybe it just like you felt like you could have a better conversation with. I don't think that necessarily means like I went to them knowing that I was going to like cheat on you with this person, but I think that can build. So like I can understand that, and not, I don't want to say respect, but I don't have a better word. I can respect that a little more than like I'm here every night. I have a fat ass that's ready to throw it back at you, and you gotta go someplace else.
6 times a day, she said. 6 times! I'm exhausted thinking about it, but she said it.
I work from home. Like, we got time between the Zoom meetings. Like.
She's got time between meetings, y'all. Come on over on the lunch break. Okay, so yeah, I respect that too. I think, like we talked about, everyone's gonna have different answers to that because everyone's different. Everyone has different boundaries. Some people don't give a fuck about cheating. They cheat on each other and it works for them. Like,
yes,
that's the thing.
There are a lot of people that know that their partner is cheating on them and they're also cheating on their partner. Even like, obviously I'm not going to name names, but like people that we went to college with that are like so happy together and like posting and they look like they have such a great relationship. Like, they're hooking up with they're both out hooking up with other people and they know about it. So I don't know. And maybe that's like
open relationship.
Yeah, like maybe that's a more modern thing, like open relationships. Like I said, I come wielding knives, so like I will never be in an open relationship.
I don't think so. I would like to think I'm open enough to do that, but I'm not. Because when I'm telling, like, I love hard. I'm like, do not even try it. Like, I could not think about you with somebody else. Like, the person I'm talking to right now, I could not even think of. I don't want to know who your exes were. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what you were like with them. I don't want to know. I used to ask that question. I don't like to picture you with anybody else. That might be crazy. That might be. I don't care. I don't want to think about you with somebody else. Ever.
And I don't care until I'm dating someone. Like, when I'm, like right now, I'm single. I would say I'm single. I'm like sort of seeing somebody. If he's sleeping with other people, that's not my business. Like, and I've told him that. Like, there was like a situation where we went out with one of his friends, and I got in the car and I was like, so how many times have you hooked up with her? And he was like, what? We haven't hooked up since college. And I was like, oh, so you did hook up with her. Like, I definitely knew you hooked up with her.
It.
Yeah, which is, I have no problem with that. Like, I have plenty of, like, guy friends that I've hooked up with, so I'm just not the person to care about that at all. However, we start dating, and then you start going to this person for, like, that emotional stuff. All I'm going to think about is the physical stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
So, like, right now, do I care? No, not at all. I don't care. And even if I started, like, officially dating this person, would I care? No, I wouldn't care. Especially, like, college. I mean, everybody's hooking up with everybody in college. Like, whatever. But
I couldn't get it out of my head.
See, and I have to be able to get it out of my head because I'm friends with people that I've hooked up with. So, like, I can't be pot calling kettle black.
No, I get it. That's really, really an adult answer of you. Good job.
That's the only adult answer I have. Other than that, it's stabbing.
That's me too. Now that I'm stabbing you on sight. Okay, are you ready to get into the juicy story that I've been waiting for?
Absolutely. I wonder if I'm going to get sued for defamation again.